So Bernie Sanders pulled out of the race today. Congressman Mark Pocan, who had endorsed him and was, in his campaign, was on our program today and had this to say about it. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. He is the co-chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. He represents the 2nd District of the state of Wisconsin in the U.S. House of Representatives. Pocan.house.gov is his website. You can tweet him at Rep. Mark Pocan. And Congressman Pocan, welcome. And by the way, for our listeners who may just be tuning in, every Wednesday, Congressman Pocan comes on and takes your calls for the hour. The number is 202-808-9925. And we will be picking up your calls for Congressman Pocan. Congressman, I just listened to Bernie Sanders bowing out of the race, but not out of the struggle, talking about how the movement continues and all these, chronicling some of his progress and whatnot. Your thoughts on this? I know that you've been very involved with his campaign.
Yeah, I think all along what's been so unique about the campaign is this has never been about an individual. It's not just about Bernie Sanders, although certainly Bernie has for decades been at the forefront of many progressive issues. But it really was about building a movement, and that's what happened. And when you think of what he ran 4 years ago, the issues we talk about today are the issues that Bernie raised 4 years ago: Medicare for all, dealing with climate change, having the end to the endless wars, dealing with working people in a way that respects working people and not just the corporations and the owners. And I think he accomplished that again this year. But what an election cycle to have to try to run for president in. And the movement exists because of Bernie. We have this great number of people across the country willing and ready to fight for progressive values. And, everything that Bernie said about Medicare for all that, years ago no one seemed to listen to, now everyone realizes if we would have had a system in place like that now, how different the healthcare delivery would be than what we're struggling through right now. So I think, a big thank you to Bernie Sanders, a second thank you to everyone who supported Bernie and the movement, and then just a reminder that, this movement is still very much alive. The candidacy may be over. In fact, it was over before Wisconsin. We didn't really have anything happening, for the Wisconsin campaign, and I think this was foreshadowed a little bit by that. But the movement is still very vibrant, very much alive, and very much in the hearts and souls of all the members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus and so many others in the organizations that fight for progressive issues. So, while I'm a little bit melancholy that the campaign did have to end in a way it did because of what's all happened with COVID-19, et cetera, I am still heartened that Bernie put that much time and effort to get this movement to be where it's at.
Yeah, he did a spectacular job, and I think the upshot, you always look for a little ray of sunshine in amongst the darkest clouds. One of the things that may well come out of this pandemic is that it has exposed the lie, the neoliberal lie, the spell that America fell under in 1981 with Ronald Reagan being inaugurated, that somehow government can't be a force for good, that government is merely an impediment, that government gets in the way, that government is clumsy and inefficient, and that private charity and pull yourself up by your bootstraps should be the only way that America goes forward. I think that BS narrative that both Democrats and Republicans have bought into for the past 40 years has been shattered here, or 50 years, I guess it would be. No, 40 years.
No question. I mean, I think, people are not so much concerned about their stock portfolio right now, but very much concerned about the imminent health of their family and their friends. And it's not just like getting sick, it's getting sick and potentially dying. And what happens when you don't have a government infrastructure, our shared tax dollars working for us, all of us, why that can fall apart. And it's in many ways fallen apart under Donald Trump. And we can now see governors that are doing it better versus governors that aren't doing it better. And the case has really been made, I think, as you said, for government can do good. I think it also really made the case for why healthcare is a universal healthcare in every industrialized country but the United States. Why that is something we need to get closer to, if not actually get to, in the United States. And I think there are other silver linings out of all this. Although I have to be honest, Tom, after yesterday's Wisconsin election, I think we learned a lot of other lessons as well.